Hey everybody, day 3 of the 30-day video challenge, and after a 10-hour day I'm still determined to come home and make this video. So this will be short. But something I was thinking about today was self-care, which is something that I talk a lot about in my practice back in Kentucky. And currently right now I'm taking a sabbatical from my practice so that I can attend school to do a herbal apprenticeship, and that's what I was doing today, was working with all that stuff. But anyhow, my point is, I think self-care is incredibly important, and it means so many different things to so many different people. And I think the main thing that people need to stop and think about is, what is it in their life that brings them relief? Is it a hot bath? Is it reading a book? Is it taking time to yourself? Is it spending time with friends? What does it look like for you? And in particular, I wanted to touch on a few tips that are specific for people that work for themselves. I think that they can be used in general throughout your life, whether you are a business owner or not. But tip number 1 is something my aunt taught me, and she said, always schedule in your time for yourself. Always schedule your self-care time in. If somebody asks you if you're busy, then you can look in your calendar and say, I'm sorry, I have a date, or I'm busy. And that's okay, because you're not lying, because you have a date with yourself. So that is something that is very valuable that she taught me, that I often tell people in my practice. The second tip that is specific for small business owners is, especially if you're just starting, when you first start a business, you always want to answer every call. You want to be everything for every person all the time. And eventually, you have to start to draw some boundaries. And so the first one that I think is really important, that some people just forget to do, is always put the hours of operation on your voicemail. I did not do this for a long time of having a business, and I constantly felt like I was on call, and that was incredibly stressful. I didn't schedule my days in that I worked. I just was ready and available whenever. And of course, when you first set out, you kind of feel like you have to do that. But once you start to build up a regular clientele, or customers, clients, patients, whatever, it gets a little bit easier. So if you put in your voicemail, hello, this is so-and-so, my hours are, you can ignore your phone all you want after hours. And that's a really, really good mental space for you to have. So the other part is, let me think. I didn't write this down. So anyway, let's start with that. Let's just stick with those two things. So schedule in time for yourself, stick to it as if it's a date with another person, and make sure you're clear with people, if you work for yourself, when you're available and when you're not. And that's really more for yourself than it is for them. So I guess that's all for today. My self-care this evening is, though it's late, I'm going to make a nice meal and probably give myself a pedicure and get to bed early enough to where I can wake up and feel well rested for my one day off this week that I can't wait for. Actually, I think we get another day. But anyway, now I'm rambling. But I did get my video in, and I hope that you guys are doing really, really well. Even though those are simple things, I hope they're helpful for you. And good night.